What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to another Spud Cup race day. This week is round 3 in our season, and even though we had a bunch of issues trying to log in through iRacing, everything went ahead and the session was insane. It was crazy good racing. So without wasting any more time, let's jump in and see how week 3 went. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on our third race of this season. Today we're racing in Austria at the famous Red Bull Ring. Today's track length is 4.28 kilometers with a track temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. Now after our sprint race today, the results will show our gridding positions. Now we have Tom and Pedro in first and second, Sketch and Mixter third and fourth, followed by Tiz, myself, Dex, and Matthew going down to 8th. Followed them we have Foss, Josh, Bobby, and Neki, and then finishing off the rest of the grid, we have JDM, Aiden, Ethan, Tim, and CJ. Today is going to be a very jam-packed race, so let's jump to the grid and see which green flag wave. So here we are on the grid, ready to get this race underway. We have eyes on our leader. This is Tom, and Tom is off. The race has begun. We have Tom, Pedro, and Sketch all still in their first, second, and third positions. Let's get a bit of a closer look into turn 1. This is where mayhem is going to strike. Tom has a pretty good run. Let's look further down the lead. We've got Tim, followed by Mixter, and Matt right behind him. This is a good-looking pack so far. Tom is just peeling away. Pedro and Sketch still chasing right behind. JDM and Tim right behind them. Tim, we are currently got eyes on. Look at this pack heading down now into the second corner. Second corner is going to be tight. There's a nice little sweep here before this super tight second turn where carnage will probably ensure. Tim gets a really good line. Leads out. The pack is going a bit wide. Everyone's getting a bit squirrely there, but no much of an issue. Everyone's looking like a pretty good line out of that area. No carnage. No carnage in turn 2. Lap 1 is looking clean so far. Currently got eyes on myself going into the onboard area. Let's have a look and see what this track is looking like. We've got this nice right-hand corner here following Aiden. Aiden goes a little bit wide. I go right on the inside. In between Ethan and Aiden, we go 3 wide through that right-hander. Heading down now into this double left. This is already a very intense race. A couple of people going wide there. Nothing too crazy. Eyes on myself. Let's go down to Josh. See where Josh is sitting now, coming through the corner as well. Right behind Bobby. Bobby is doing a very good job keeping Josh that far away and getting his position solidified in the first lap of this race. Let's head back up now down to Tim. We'll see Tim in currently P5, chasing down JDM and staying right in front of Matthew. So far, this is looking like a very good race, and if people can keep it on the track and keep it clean. Tim's already in the pits. Tim's already coming into pit lane. What have we missed with Tim? Why is Tim serving is he serving a penalty? Is there an issue with the car? We have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Well, why Tim gets in the pits, we'll see if we can work out why he's in there. Let's look at Mixter now, looking down into the second lap, the start of the second lap into turn 1. Mixter is right behind Matthew, right in front of Ethan, and I'm right behind them. This is a very close pack with the 3 of us here. Mixter goes wide, tries to make a move on Matthew. Does he have enough of a run? Does he have enough of a run? This is going to be very close now leading to turn 2. This is a really hard right-hand corner. Ethan right behind him. He does not want to give up a position in case something happens. He's there. Mix a little lock up on the front right. No big deal. Ethan goes really shallow on the inside line of the corner. I'm right behind Ethan. Matthew is losing time to me. I had a way better line than Matt did coming out of that corner. This is super close racing by the 3 of us here. I remember this being a really intense race in this moment, but looking at it now, it is such good racing between the 4 of us. Mixer on the inside. Ethan Chasen's right behind him. We have Matthew and then myself. I am right behind Matt. Let's have a look at the roll bar here. Right behind the 3 of them. This is a train that I do not want to lose the slipstream of, because if I get further away from Matthew, there is no way I'm going to catch the other 2 cars. There is no chance in hell. Matthew is doing a bloody good job keeping a great line and not going too far behind Ethan. Ethan goes on the inside. Matt goes a little bit wide, but everyone's still trying to get some heat into their tyres, so there's not too much of a problem with having not a crazy quick lap. Let's look further up the pack now. We've still got Tom in charge. Tom is now on his last corner of lap 2. He is killing it. Pedro right behind him, and the time difference between the top 2 positions and JDM in third is almost 3 seconds, which is just insane. Pedro's now got fastest lap of the race with a 1:31.9. Not a bad lap at all. Turn 1 for these 2 leaders is already looking smooth. Everyone else is now finishing their second lap, heading now into their third lap of the race. Now, because this is a 30-minute race, you don't have to pit if you can save fuel, but I do imagine a lot of people are going to have to pit and get a little bit of fuel to finish their race today. Now, looking at Tim, he's down in 15th. Let's have a look at Tim now and see what is going on with him. We're not entirely sure why Tim had to jump into the pits on lap 1. I don't know whether there was some damage to the car or if there was a penalty that happened with a jump start or something along those lines, but Tim's now tackling turn 1 for his third lap. And you can see he's quite behind. He's about 13 seconds behind Bobby in 14th, so he really wants to make up the position as quickly as he can and get a bit closer to the rest of the pack before he starts to slip too far behind. Let's jump now to Neki and see Neki battling with Aiden and CJ into that right-hand turn there, and he takes it right on the inside. Neki takes Aiden on the inside. What a good chance. What a good chance to quickly change to his camera. Looking at the roll by there, he's just made the move on Aiden, but Aiden is side by side with him now, followed by CJ. CJ is not about to let Neki pass. He wants to hold him off as best as he can, but unfortunately, when Neki has a position in his mind, he will take it from you if he wants it. You can see the three of them right, nice and close. Neki is right there. There is no way. The draft on that, CJ pulls to the left to make sure he can have a safe overtake. Aiden right behind, and right behind Aiden we have Dex. Again, really close racing. There's 4 cars in this pack, and then just up the road, we have myself, Matt, Ethan, and Mixter, all in a really close pack as well. Let's have a look now, see if Matthew is still doing a good job of holding me off, and he is. Turning into turn 1 now for lap 5 we're about to commence, or lap 4, sorry. Into turn 1 now, you can see Matthew is just pulling away. Ethan is still right on the back of Mixter. He is not about to let up that position, but I got a way better run into turn 1. Way better run. Heading down now to turn 2. I've just overtaken Matthew. I have just taken that position from Matthew. Can I hold it? Can we make it stick? Side by side with Matt. This is such close racing. We're only 4 laps in. This is only going to get more and more intense. On the inside, tries not to lock up on the inside line there. Great move. Neki is right behind Matthew. He's not about to let Neki pass, but Neki has such a better run than Matthew going out of that corner. This is one of those races that if you can get a great run out of some of these corners before the long straights, the slipstream you get with these F4 cars is going to give you that position and try and do a really good job of giving you the run on the car in front. You can see now Neki is right behind me, and same deal. I'm going to do my best to not let Neki pass, but if he wants to overtake me, he will. He's going to show some patience, and he's going to overtake me when I make a mistake, because he's just such a good driver in the sense of putting pressure on the person in front until they either make a mistake or he has an opportunity to overtake. So we've got myself now in P7. I've lost a position since starting the race, but Ethan in P6 has made up quite a few by looking at these results. I don't know whether that's factual or not, but you can see now Neki wants me to know. He wants me to know that he is right there, and that if he wants that overtake, he will take it. Pedro has now just crossed the line with the fastest lap of the race at a 1:31.6, and you can see Tom at a 1:31.7. So even though Pedro is still in P2, he is not going to let Tom get away from him at all. You can see Neki now. Let's jump on board with Neki. This is going to be a tight overtake into turn 1. He backs off. He gets a better line, and he's going to, like I said, he's going to utilize. Look at that. Utilize the line that you get out of these corners before the straights, and he has made easy work of overtaking me into turn 2. I try and jump back behind him to get some sort of slipstream without losing too much pace, but same deal. If you can line up that turn and that line before going down these straights, it provides you such a good opportunity to overtake. Such a good opportunity to overtake. Let's look now at our leaders. We'll see Pedro and Tom. You can see them battling. They're on lap 5 going down the right-hander here, and there's a massive gap of almost 6.5, 7 seconds between P2 and P3 of Johnson in P3. And both Tom and Pedro, I mean, they're battling each other pretty well. And like I said, Pedro's still 2.5 tenths behind Tom, but he has no hesitations of staying as close as he can to the leader and making sure he can capitalize if the opportunity presents itself. Let's go down to the middle of the pack now. Let's see where Ethan is sitting. Oh, we got someone going off. Mixter is going off. Mixter has lost positions. He's spun. He has spun out, going into that second left-hander after the first left on that sweeping side. He is now down into P10. P10 from P5. That gives Ethan position up to P5, and now he is about 4.5 seconds behind CJ. He really wants to get as close as he can now. Looking at our leader, it's Sketchkov now, after taking that position from Mixter, you can see Ethan and Neki have both just gone down the last corner of the track leading into their 6th lap. Neki is still right behind, but I think Neki's going to try and take Ethan. I'm still right behind Neki. Again, I don't want that position to just go away from me as fast as he can, because if he disappears, it just makes a bigger gap between me and Ethan, and I don't want that. I don't want a gap of that size. But now Tom is still in turn 1, still in the leader position. Sorry, Pedro right behind him, but I reckon they're going to change a bunch. You can see people are now getting into the pit. CJ's heading into the pitch, which gives Josh some positions to overtaking. Same with Dex and Matthew, all taking over CJ in the pits. Let's have a look at Dex now. He's coming down to turn 1, just left turn 1 on his 6th lap, and right behind him he's followed by Matthew, and Josh is quite a ways away in P10. Pedro has just taken the lead. Pedro's just taken the lead going into the left-hander here. Look at that overtake. We just missed the overtake in the right-hander, but I think he got a good line out of that corner, giving him a little bit of a gap. But you can see Tom is not holding back. Tom does not want to lose that position. No, he doesn't want to leave it there for as long as he has to. He is right there. Lap 6, the leaders have already changed positions. You can see Tom now goes on the inside, wants to make sure Pedro knows that he's there. He does not want to lose this. If Pedro can escape and get further away, it's going to make it a hell of a lot harder for Tom to get that distance closed. But you can see here just the speed that these cars have, absolutely booking it. He's got 5th gear now, going up down the start-finish straight, but Tom is about 4/10 away from Pedro. Pedro is pulling away. We've got Tim has just had a bit of an off-track on that right-hander. You can see him, he's spun. Tim has lost control of the car into that right-hander, giving the P13 to Bobby and giving him quite a comfortable 8-second difference. And you can also see Matthew now. Matthew has also gone off track, and he's just lost control. Matthew has just lost control. Turning into that right-hander before we go to that second last corner of the race. Bobby just overtakes Matthew. What a bloody good opportunity for Bobby to take that position. And Bobby's just, he vanished, and he's back. My goodness, I thought he was done. I thought he'd finished. Goodness gracious. Bobby's still in front, Matthew right behind in P13, and we've got Dex, Josh in 10 and 11. Let's jump over to Josh Garner's race and see how Josh is going heading into turn 1 of lap 7. He's still pretty comfortable in P10. Oh, a bit of a squirrel. I shouldn't have said anything. Josh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's just given the position to Dex, losing it a little bit on turn 1 of his 7th lap. Nothing to worry. Josh is only a second behind. If you can get closer to Dex and utilize that second corner to get the run out into the hard right, he should be fine. He should be able to make it up. Let's jump on board now. See Josh's second corner. Not a bad line. Wants to get the power down as quick as he can. Already 120 kilometers an hour. He is right behind Dex. He's about 2 seconds gap to P10. If he can get that a little bit lower, get that down to a 1 second gap, he should be in distance of Dex's slipstream to be able to utilize his position on track and get a bit closer. Let's look now. We've got Ethan up in P5. Ethan, we had a bit of an off-track from Neki. I think Neki's just utilizing as much of the track as he can to get as close as he can. But you can see now, Neki's already overtaken me. He's in P6, chasing down Ethan in P5, and I am just so much further away. Look how far away I am now from Neki. He is just going away in the distance. You can see Neki making a move. Neki's making a move on the outside. Makes a move on the outside of Ethan and takes it. We completely missed the bloody overtake. I'm such an idiot. Ethan lost P5 to Neki. Neki takes him on turn 1 of lap 8. What a great move by him. The racing that Neki's provided in this season so far has been phenomenal. Just great, clean racing. And if he's behind you and he wants that position, you better be prepared to close the door if you can, because you don't want to give him an opening with this car, because he will take it from you at every opportunity. We've got Ethan now in P6, followed by myself. I don't think I've got too much of a gap to Ethan behind. I'm looking at about 2 second gap, but like I said, if I can make that a bit closer, we should be good to go. Looking at the intervals now on the timing tower, there's not many people that are within 1 second of the guy in front of them, which means it's going to make it hard for people to start doing overtakes if they're out of that slipstream distance. But you can see the leaders with Pedro and Tom. Tom is now 2 seconds behind Pedro. 2 seconds behind. Pedro is absolutely pulling away from him on lap 8 now, going down second corner. Great line by him. Takes a little bit wide onto the second last turn into the last corner, but look at the line that it's provided him. Going that little bit further really gives him such a great run out on that start-finish straight, hitting 195, 200 kilometers before hitting the first turn of his lap 9. This is a great-looking race for Pedro. A bit off track there for him. He's really utilizing the track's limits as much as he possibly can. JDM's just done a lap, his best of 132, and Neki has just done a 131.6, with our best lap of being a 131.4 from Pedro. Neki is right behind that leader, right behind with that fastest lap, which is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. But now looking at the timing tower, you can see Matthew is 7/10 behind Bobby. He is chasing him down now. You can see here on the double lefts, he is ready to take down Bobby if Bobby makes a mistake, which he doesn't want to, but he's now 3/10 behind. He's going to utilize that as well. Same with Neki. Neki is now 6/10 behind Sketch. We'll have a look at that in just a second. You look at Matthew right behind Bobby. Bobby pulls to the left. Is Matthew going to make a move? Letting down into the second last corner of lap 9. He goes wide. Bobby takes a little bit shallow. Right behind him, Bobby goes wide, and Matthew takes it right on the inside. Great overtake by Matthew there. Really utilizing that track as best as he can, and just a little bit more experience with this car, I think, to work out how much grip he can pull out of this vehicle. Now looking over at Neki, you can see Neki has just taken Sketch. I knew that overtake was going to happen. I just didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Sketch is still 4/10 behind him. If he can stay in that slipstream, like I said, within that 1 second difference, it should be good for you to make these overtakes. Matthew as well. Matthew is now 3/10 behind Josh. I don't know what Matthew is doing. I don't know what he's put in his car today, but he's making up these positions. Look at him go. In 13th, he was 15th. He's just taken Josh on the inside of second turn on lap 10. Look at him go. Bobby right behind Josh as well. He does not want to lose these positions either. Bobby is here. Josh is feeling a little bit of pressure today. Matthew is just absolutely large and in charge on lap 10. In charge. Sketch is still 8/10 behind Neki, and we've got Bobby and Josh and Matt all within a second of each other. Super, super close racing by the bottom of the pack here, same as the middle. Everyone is really... Oh, Bobby's gone off. Bobby's lost. I don't know why I said anything. Bobby, I'm so sorry. I should have shut my mouth. He's gone a little bit wide, and that right, sharp right. And that really caught a lot of people out in quali in the sprint race today as well. Bobby, I do apologize. That's all my fault. Take it to race control. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's look at Mixter now in P9, chasing down Aiden. He is within 6/10 of Aiden, and Mixter must have lost a couple of positions because he was chasing up in 5th, and I think he must have had an off-track. Oh, he did. Sorry, off-track earlier a couple of laps ago. He's been trying to claim that up ever since that incident. You can see him right behind now, and this is where the slipstream is really going to come into play. And like I said, if you can get a good run out of some of these corners before the straights, you can chase down the car in front of you and hopefully make up at least a couple of tenths just in the slipstream alone. Aiden got a little bit squirrely there on that right-hander, but Mixter is there. He is ready. Like I said, look at this. Already using the slipstream. He's making up there's almost a 10th there. He can get down to 5/10 before this double left. He should be able to make it up. A little bit of dirt there for Aiden. Nothing crazy. Same with Mixter. Just pushing these cars as much as they absolutely have to. And you can see now back to our leaders. We have Pedro just finishing his lap of 131.7 and Tom with a 131.6. So Tom's lap is not actually that far off Pedro. If we have a look at them now on their lap 11, just starting the first corner of lap 11, he's now down to 1.7. So he's made up almost a second back after losing a little bit of that time. Mixter now heads down into pits. I don't know if Mixter's just making this opportunity for him to stop for fuel, or if this is him to serve a penalty or fix some repairs. I'm not too sure exactly what it is for Mixter, but he's now heading into the pits, and we are currently 11 laps in, or 15 minutes, sorry, into our race, so we're about halfway through. If Mixter decides to put fuel in now, he might not have to stop again in the future, and we won't have to stop again in the future if he puts enough fuel in now, which could give him a good position. There was no real stopping for tires or anything, so I'm assuming this is Mixter's fuel stop. I think he's just stopped to get some fuel. He's coming out now. Dex has just overtaken him. You can see Dex on on turn 1, lap 11. He's just overtaken Mixter in the pits. That's a great move by him, and hopefully for Mixter, he'll make that up later. He'll make that up in the future. Ethan now 9/10 behind Sketch. We'll jump to them. He is chasing. He is chasing behind him. He's within striking distance, and Ethan followed right behind that. Ethan, is 9/10 behind Sketch, and I'm 2 seconds behind Ethan. This is really, really close racing between a lot of different packs here today. And normally with the last race, we saw a lot of people in the front and then a lot of people in the back, and there was no real midfield that was doing a lot of battling. But you can now see Tom. Tom is 7/10 behind Pedro. Have a look at this here. I don't know how he's made such a gap. Either the leaders just had to change and get past some traffic, and that's given Tom a second, almost 2 seconds of time to Pedro, chasing him down now. Turn 1 of lap 12, 17 minutes into our race. We only have 13 minutes left, or 12 and a half minutes left if you count down to the last lap of this race. And you can see him, he was chasing now. Looking at our sectors, you can see Tom and JDM. JDM is about a 10th off in sector 1, a 10th and a half off in sector 2. So Tom doesn't really have to worry too much about JDM catching him at any opportunity time. But Pedro really needs to be paying attention because Tom's only 6/10 away. And you can see now the timing tower, Neki 9/10, Ethan 8/10 from P5, and Neki is chasing down JDM in P4. Let's jump now to Ethan because Ethan's having a bloody good race today. But people are going off. I think someone has just gone off. Was that Bobby that just went off there? Oh, goodness gracious. Bobby, no. Oh, poor bastard. This is one of those tracks too. If you get too hard on the throttle, the whole rear end of this car is just going to take itself out from underneath you, and that's just pain. Just absolute pain. Ethan now 4/10 behind Sketch. He's making a bloody good race to him. Ethan is having a bloody good race today. 3/10. I'm right behind Ethan. I'm about 1.5 seconds behind. Can Ethan make the move stick? Can he make the move stick on Sketch? Sketch is holding on. He's about 4.5 seconds to Neki, so there's not really too much of a problem to try and battle to get Sketch here today, because if he can get Sketch, he can get a closer move to Neki without having to worry about overtaking and blocking from Sketchcob. 3/10 now behind him in P6. Ethan, like I said, is having a bloody good race today. Second last corner of the lap. He's right behind. Tom has just done fastest lap of the race with a 1:31.5. I have no idea where these guys are pulling these times from, but they are killing it. Absolutely killing it. Ethan now 3/10 behind. Can he make a move into the first turn of lap 13? Can he make it happen? Ethan's done a 133.2, sorry, which is so much faster than both me and Sketchkov. He's right behind turn 1. Look at the line. Look at the run. He's going to have a good run. Let's get down into turn 2. They are wheel to wheel. They are wheel to wheel, the two of them there. Let's go down into turn 2. Ethan is just ahead of Sketch heading into turn 2. Can he make it stick? He's got the inside line. We are only 11 minutes away for the rest of this race. Can he make it stick? He takes the inside, touches the curb a little bit, doesn't get as much of a run out as Sketchkov does. Sketch is still wheel to wheel. They are still side by side heading down into this hard right. Can he make it happen? Can he make it stick? He's just in front. He's not. Sketchkov's just taking position back. They are within 3/1000ths of a second. Let's go into the right-hand corner now. He has to drop down into third. He goes a little bit too deep. He should have gone second, I think, just to get a little bit more acceleration, but I think he's doing a bloody good job. Sketch is still right there with him. Still right there with him. They're side by side. This is giving me a good opportunity to get right behind the two of them, and we're here. My goodness, let's go to my camera and see if we can have a look at the camera there. CJ is still on the inside. Ethan has made it happen. Ethan has overtaken Sketchkov. Bloody good racing by the two of them there. My goodness. But this has given me a good chance. I'm only 2/10 behind Sketch. Only 2/10 into P6. My God. Tom has now dropped into pits. Our second place, or our leader now, sorry, has dropped down into P2. He's now heading into the pits. And you can see the racing here is just so tight between the different packs of people. You can see me now. Ethan is now in P4, Sketch P5, and me in P6. Bobby is in the pits, Pedro is in the pits, and Tom is just coming out of the pits now, which is going to put Tom right behind us, right behind this pack. Ethan goes wide. CJ is right behind. Is Ethan still in front? He is. You can see now in the distance there, right behind, we have Tom, our race leader from the start of this race. And I have just made a move on both Ethan, and I think we're going to take CJ. I think I'm going to get CJ as well. I've just taken CJ. Sketch is right. Sorry, it's not CJ, Sketch. We're right side by side. We're wheel to wheel. My God, I can't believe I got Ethan. I got Ethan and Sketch. We're turning it down into the right-hander. You can see JDM just in front, which is just a lap down, unfortunately, for his race here today. But this is a bloody good race so far. I'm just in front of Sketch. Like I said, we're within a 10th. You can see the front of his spoiler there, right behind the timing tower, his front wing. I go a little bit wide. We touched. Nothing crazy. Ethan on the inside. Right behind him is Sketchkov, and right behind them is Tom. This is crazy, crazy racing by the four of us here at the moment. This is just so close. You can see, look at all the cars. So many cars everywhere. My God, you got JDM right here on the left. Sketchkov in front. Ethan in front of him, and then the blue car is myself just out in front. Good run by Tom. Look at the line. Using JDM's slipstream as best he possibly can. Absolutely killing it. My God. My God. Ethan has just taken Sketch. They are side by side. They're side by side. JDM and Sketch are side by side. Hopefully JDM moves out of the way, because I think he actually has a blue flag in this situation. Or is he in position? He is in position. Oh my God. JDM is in. I didn't realize JDM was still on the current lap. So everybody right now is racing for position. I've made my way up into P2. I don't know how the hell we've done that. Neki is currently our race leader in P1. We haven't pitted. I haven't pitted. Neki hasn't pitted. Either has Sketch, I don't think. So at the moment, we have Ethan just coming out of pit lane. JDM is right behind Sketch, and right behind him is Aiden. Everyone is so close. Sorry, Tom, not Aiden. Everyone is so close, heading down into turn 2 now of lap 15. This is going to be a crazy, crazy rest of the race. Absolutely insane. Look how close everybody is racing. There's 3/10 between each car. Bananas. Pit lane, we have Bobby and Pedro both in pits at the moment. Dex has just finished his lap 14, sorry. This is going to be insanely close. Insanely close. Now, I have a crazy 10-second gap to Neki. There is no way I'm going to catch him. 10.5 seconds, and I've got Sketch about 1.3 seconds and closing right behind me. This is crazy close. Crazy close. Let's look at Tom's onboard now and see what Tom is looking like from the rest of these two cars in front. You can see me just ahead. Not that far in front. Not that far in front. I'm only 1.3 seconds ahead of Sketchkov. But you can see JDM and Tom are so close to each other. Everyone is so tight in this position of the race. We are currently on lap 15. Neki out in front. 10.5 seconds behind, in front of me. And then 1.6 from Sketch to myself. So the real racing at the moment is between P5 and P3, Tom, JDM, and Sketchkov. And you can see JDM making a move on the inside, but can't quite make it happen. And JDM goes into the pits. I've also just headed into the pits here myself. This is a crazy, crazy start. You can see I'm right here. I have to get in, get some fuel, because I'm not going to have enough to last the rest of the race. So I've just headed into pits. JDM has just headed into the pits. And now Ethan is also coming into pit lane. Ethan is heading into pit lane as well. We've only got 7.5 minutes left. Not even, sorry, 6.5 minutes left of this race. Everybody is going to have to stop to get some fuel if they're going to make it happen. Now we've got Tom has made his way all the way back up to P2. This is going to be a crazy finish to the race. Sketch is in P3 right behind him. Aiden is right behind them with 10.5 second gap. So there's quite a bit of racing that's going to happen between P2 and P3 with Scotch and Tom. There's 14.5 seconds to P1. And you can see Dex has now made up positions in the pits. He's made positions in the pits. Dex is in P8. He's now made it up to P7. Look at the moves on him going down. He's just making Ethan. Ethan has just left pit lane. So with any luck, I'm going to be right behind that. I do actually have to stop. I just realized that I had to bloody stop. I'm still in pit lane with a 40-second stop and go. I had to stop in pits for 40 seconds due to an unsafe pit entrance, which is all my fault. Like an idiot. Now Tim has just taken P10 away from, sorry, P9. He's now in P9 after overtaking me on my pit exit. With Neki now coming into pit lane. Neki's making his way into pit lane, which should put Tom back in leaderboard. If Tom can get around and get past Neki before Neki has to quickly put some fuel in the car and finish, then everything, he's going to make P1 again. He's going to make it happen. Sketch is now coming into pits. Tom we're looking at right now. Look at Tom's onboard. He's going to be passing Neki in the pits as we speak. Neki is currently still stopped. He's just coming out of his pit bay now. Let's have a look at Tom. Tom's overtaking him, heading into turn 1. Look at the racing that's happening here in the Red Bull Ring with these F4s today in the Spud Cup. This is just insane racing. Super, super good racing. Sketch and Aiden are now both in the pits themselves. You can see Aiden here coming into his pit box. I don't know where Sketch is, but Sketch is still in front. I think Sketch is just about to leave. Sketch is leaving now, leaving pit lane, heading out into turn 1 on the inside of the pit lane. We've got JDM making up positions. JDM's taken over, leaving through. Can he make it? Can he make it happen on pit exit? Let's go. Sketchkov is right there, 1.2 seconds. He got a good enough leave. He got out just in time, but you can see JDM had way faster pace than Sketchkov, obviously coming out of pits. You can see Mixter right behind him as well. Dex right behind them. This is super, super close. Ethan is only 2/10 behind Aiden. Let's jump to his camera quite quickly. You can see him chasing him down. Ethan is on the outside line. Aiden on the inside trying to protect, but he's not going to be able to make it happen. Ethan has taken the position. Can Aiden clap back before the second corner? He's not going to be able to make it happen. Ethan, great driving by him. Aiden is chasing down behind that. He's going to have a hard time trying to get the position back because Ethan is on it today. Ethan is on it. You can see myself. Me and Tim are also battling. I've just taken positions from Tim in turn 1 of lap 17. We only have 3.5 minutes left of this race. Only 3.5 minutes. You can see how close it is. Tim is 2/10 behind me, sorry. Aiden is only 3/10 behind Ethan, and JDM has just taken Mixter. Mixter and JDM are swapping positions, heading into the double left here. Look at the racing side by side between the two of them. Absolutely insane. JDM right behind. Dex is just behind him, sorry. This is crazy, crazy. JDM in P5, right behind Mixter. Absolutely insane racing. Down to the last corner here of lap 18. You can see, look, he is right behind Mixter. He's not about to let the position go. Way better run than Mixter, utilizing that slipstream. And like I said, I've said this ever since we started the race. If you can get a good slipstream out, I mean, he's closing it now on the straight before turn 1. He's on the inside. They're too wide turn 1 of lap 18. Can he make it happen? Can he make it stick? Great overtake by JDM. Absolutely insane racing by the two of them here today. Everybody is just on it. Absolutely on it today. Looking at P8, we have 8, 7, and 6, all within very, very close times of each other. We have Aiden here chasing down Ethan, Ethan chasing down Dexter, and we've got only 7/10 between 8 and 7, and 8/10 between 7 and 6. And you can just see JDM and Mixter are still trading for positions. They are still going back and forth. My God, JDM has just lost position again to Mixter. Mixter is only 3/10 ahead of him, only 3/10 ahead. You can see Tom is still out in charge. He is in the first race win position with Neki followed behind at 3 seconds. And we are counting down the times here. I'm on the edge of my bloody seat. I've already done this race, but it's still just insane to watch everybody's perspectives. We have 2 minutes left of our race session, and with Tom being our race leader, Neki is 3 seconds behind. If he can close up that gap, Neki might be able to take this race win position. Let's have a look at Ethan now, only 4/10 behind Dex. He is making a very, really good move. Really, really good move into the second left here. He's chasing him down, 4/10 behind. We've got a lot of close racing as well by Pedro in P12. What happened to Pedro to be down at P12? Maybe a penalty with a stop and hold or something, going into pit lane unsafely, similar to myself. JDM now 3/10 behind Mixter. Ethan 2/10 behind Dex, and we're on board now with Ethan looking at him chasing down Dex on this one of the second last laps, I think. We're currently only a minute and a half left of our session. CJ has just taken over Josh. Pedro has just taken over Matthew. This is absolutely insane racing by everybody here today. Everybody's on it today. My God, they're doing all the work for me. I haven't even got to talk about it because there's just so much happening. JDM in P5 still chasing down Mixter. Mixter is chasing down Sketch as well. Let's go back up into P3 and 4. You can see, look at the pack. Absolutely insane. So we've got Sketchgov. Neki is in front of him and then Thomas in front of him. But CJ, I think, is actually currently a lap down. He is. He's currently in P13. So he needs to move out of the way. He's got to get out of there so Sketch and Mixter and JDM can all make their ways through. You can see him now in P8. Sketchkov is P8. Car number 8. We've got CJ's moving out of the way for everybody else to get through. Dex is right behind. Right behind. In front of Ethan. Sorry, Ethan is. Everyone's so racing so tightly. This is insane. Ethan has just taken Dex. Dex goes wide. Dex, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm such an idiot. I shouldn't have said a thing. Aiden has just taken the position as well. My God, Dex is trying to catch back up. He's 5/10 behind Aiden, but Ethan and Aiden have both taken it away from Dexter. He's now down into P8 with only 25 seconds left of this race. Absolutely insane racing by everybody here today. JDM is still half a second behind Mixter, and Dex is trying to chase up Aiden and get as close to him as he possibly can. Absolutely mental. You can see now Neki is 1.6 behind Tom, our leader, and Josh comes into the pits right before the end of the race. The race session is officially over. I think the guys are going to be getting their white flags now. Let's have a look at our leader. We have Neki they're on their last lap. So the leaders are currently on their last lap. You can see him 1.5 seconds behind Tom. Tom is out in front and ready to take charge of this race. You got JDM and Mixter still very, very close. Dex is still very close to Aiden. Josh is coming out of the pits now. I think he's got one more lap to finish his race. Mixter 4/10 behind Sketch. This is going to be insane. Let's look at JDM now. We'll jump on board with him. We've got JDM going into the second turn of their last lap. White flag has been waved. The guys are on their last lap of this race. Absolutely insane. I don't know what JDM's done, but he's lost a bunch of time. To Mixter. Mixter is now, let's jump to him. This is on board here with Mixter. He's 3/10 behind Sketch on their last lap. White flag has been waved. He's right behind him. 3/10, 2/10. Can he make this position happen? Can Mixter get onto the podium before the end of this lap? He's closing. He's in the slipstream. He's ready to take this away from Sketch. Sketch doesn't want to give it up. He does not want to give it up. We've also got Dex 4/10 behind Aiden. He's still chasing him down, but they're racing right now. We've got Mixter in front of Sketch. Right behind Sketch, only by 3/10. They're chasing it down. Our leaders 1 and 2 have just gone across the line to finish with Tom taking charge and winning round 3 of our 3rd season here at the Spud Cup. Great racing by him. Incredible job. Let's look at on board with Mixter now on the very, very last corner of lap number 21. The end of our session. He goes a little bit wide. He can't quite catch Skev. Sketch takes P3. Mixter out in P4. And we've got JDM has just taken Mixter. What the hell was that? What have I missed? I don't know what I missed. Why did Mixter stop for JDM? There's carnage. People are dying. People have died. Absolutely insane. I don't know what has happened. I don't know why people have just lost it. I don't know why people changed. But that is the end of our race here today. Absolutely insane racing here at the Red Bull Ring for round 3. I'm sorry. Absolutely mental racing. Insane. Absolutely incredible. Let's look now at our race results and see where our race results will put us for today's session. Looking over now at the results for today's race, we have Tom in P1, Neki in P2, Sketch in P3, and then JDM and Mixter in P4 and 5. Ethan, Aiden, and Dex following the last those 3, and then myself in P9. Incredible racing here at the Red Bull Ring today. That was insane. Thank you guys so much for enjoying this series and being part of the Spud Cup. It means the world to me, and I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying this series. Thank you again for watching, thank you for taking part, and thank you for being part of our incredible community. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and a like. I post these videos every single week after the Spud Cup. If you want to learn out more information about the Spud Cup series, come and join us on Discord. If you guys haven't subscribed yet already, definitely go and do so. We post new videos here every single week, and I guarantee you'll want to see them. Potentially. Enjoyment is not guaranteed. If you guys want to join us on any other social media, I'll leave all the links and everything in the description below. Come and say what's up. Let me know you found this video. I would love to know what you guys think. Other than that, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm sure I'll see you next week for round 4 of the Spud Cup. And bye!